Hey everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to the channel. I just filmed a video of decluttering my nail polishes. I wasn't planning on filming either one of these videos, so I don't know when they're going to go up or not. I don't know. But this is a really weird angle for my channel. I am sitting on the floor in front of, this is my makeup desk right here. This is my regular desk. You can see my computer. And my phone is on a tripod on my chair because I'm sitting on the floor and I don't want to get up right now. So, yeah, there's that. I was sitting here, I was like, I kind of want to film another video. So, what I'm going to talk about is why I left my high-paying job. I mean, not high-paying, like, not even close to six figures, but pretty comfortable, wage, and I left it for not minimum wage, but I mean, I feel like I'll just tell you right now, I hate the taboo, people not saying how much money they make. So it's $10 an hour, and I feel like now $10 an hour is becoming the new minimum wage, even though it's not really minimum wage, like legally, but most places are kind of bumping up their, like, the company's minimum wage to $10, which it's not a living wage by any means. I think calculations for the area of the country that I live in, like, living wage is about $15 an hour-ish, and I was making a bit more than that in my last job. So I'm talking about why I left that job. I'm going to try not to make this too specific about the job itself. I don't want to give away where I worked. I've actually looked up videos of people, like, just to see if there was any blog posts, any videos people talking about that they left the company that I worked for, and I couldn't find any, so I'm assuming that I know people have made, like, comments, social media stuff about that, but I'm willing to bet that nobody has mentioned the company specifically, like, that's still online, hasn't been taken down. I just shook the thing. But I feel like the company has probably contacted those people with a cease and desist, just because I feel like that's something that this company would do. So, I mean, this is not bashing the company, this is just about me, why I left a high-paying job. I had full benefits, I had health, vision, and dental. I only paid, like, my part of the expense for all that insurance as a whole, the medical, vision, and dental, was about $150 a paycheck. So, actually, no, it wasn't even that much. I think it was like $150 a month for all of that included. Like the dental was only like $15, vision was like $10, and then the rest was health. And I had AD&D insurance, I had life insurance, I had 401k. I could have had a health savings account, but I didn't get that started. I'm trying to think of what else. And then day one benefits. So, like, if you started working there, like, January 1st, hypothetically, then you would get, it was like 2 weeks of paid vacation. It worked out to about a week and a half of, like, holidays, and then you got, I think, like, totaling 40 hours of sick time. And then everything kind of carried over except for the sick time. So, like, if I worked there, I didn't take any vacation this year, then I would get that rolled over to the next year, but I would just have to use it by, like, the first quarter or whatever. So then, like, I had started in October, so they prorated that vacation time, and I got, like, a couple days to take. So, yeah, I mean, what was holding me there for so long, which not so long, I only worked there for about 2 years. Actually, almost exactly 2 years, because I started in October and I quit in October. But the only thing that was really holding me there was the pay and the benefits, basically. I mean, it wasn't a hard job by any means, at least for me. I know some people it was really difficult for them, because it was mostly on the computer, and then it was, try not to, like, give away too much, but it was a call center type thing, but it wasn't, like, there's some call centers where they're, like, they service a whole bunch of you know, different things. Like you could have like a utility company's call center and like a healthcare call center, and then like a, you know, other like companies and within the same building, but like they're owned by this call center. But mine was and just one specific company that most of the employees in the building took, you know, calls, but not everyone. I mean, there was like kind of upper management there. There was, you know, people who were higher up, like, than like us who were kind of toward the bottom of the chain, you know, that worked there that weren't like on the phone all day. I mean, they did take some phone calls, of course, but they weren't tied to the desk with a headset all day, you know. Before I started working there, I was just kind of, you know, I was working and at that time, before I started this company, I was a manager at a fast food place, which I was making like 13-ish dollars an hour, which was pretty good. But people are like, you should go to this company, you should go to there, you should go there, and like they pay really good, blah, 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 it's easy, and so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Then I applied, got the job, but for a lot of people, it just seems that we get stuck into thinking that we have to have a high-paying job to be happy, and that's absolutely not the case. You know, there's people who are absolutely miserable making over 6 figures, and there are people who are also miserable working minimum wage, so it's like, you know, it doesn't matter to me how much money that I'm making, as long as I'm happy with the job and I have, you know, basic necessities and maybe some spending money here and there, but like I can live a comfortable life in the area of the country that I live in, making, you know, I mean, now working $10 an hour, yeah, it's probably going to stink for a while. I might have to take some extra hours, but I would rather do that than, you know, hate every minute of my life getting paid more, you know. But the hardest part of leaving was I'll have to start over again at the bottom rung of a company, which, I mean, it is what it is. It's how you have to do it. It's rare these days that you can just, you know, like reach somewhat of management level at one company and then apply at another company and then get into like the same level of management. You're going to have to start at the bottom. That's just how it works. And like most companies, which it's a good thing that they hire from within. It's like, you know, if you're working at this restaurant or whatever and you're busting your butt every day to, you know, try to get a management job, and then they start hiring for that, you apply, but you get beat out by somebody who has never even worked there before. Like, that just seems bad business to me, that like they would hire from the outside into a higher position. So I get, you know, why that you have to start at the bottom. That, and I believe it costs the company less money to hire from within instead of from external, because they don't have to spend so much time training that person to do the job when, like, you know, if you're at a restaurant and you're, like, you know, base level, and then you go up to management, you know mostly what's going on. They just have to teach you a couple things, you know. But back to why I left the other one, so I wasn't happy. I had headaches all the time. And I'm not a talky person. I know I make YouTube videos, but like the few short hours that I spend per week making YouTube videos does not compare to 40 plus hours literally talking almost every minute of the day, besides like when I have somebody on hold, and then I'm probably talking to the person next to me. And just being an introvert, that makes me so tired to be in like social situations. Like even now, I started this new job, and I was off, like I didn't have a job for about a month, and then now I started this new one, and I'm tired again because I had to talk to people, but it's not like every second of the day. Like I have some breaks of silence, you know, where I don't have to be talking. And some people comment on my videos that I do the ums and stuff. That's because I worked at a call center, and if you, like, I don't understand the thought process of some people. Like, if you're talking on the phone to somebody and they're quiet for half a second, they're not dead. Like, I've had people, like, they would say, something, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. Like I'd be talking to them, they're like, what's the balance on my account? Hello, hello, hello. What's the balance on my account? Hello, hello. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Give me a second to look for and see the balance on your account, you know. But so that's why I say and then like kind of draw out my words so that they don't like think that I'm not there or that I'm not listening. Yeah. It's like, it's one of those things, if you've worked in retail, you're like, man, I wish that everybody would work in retail so they could see how this is. Then it's like, well, I wish everybody would work in a call center so they know how it is. But I'm like, no, I don't want anybody else to have to work in a call center. It's horrible. I mean, for the most part, our clients were not that bad. I mean, I wasn't in like collections or anything. I didn't get screamed at all the time. But I moved up in the ranks a little bit and I started taking supervisor calls. So that's when somebody calls, they're mad, and they think that they think that you're full of crap, and they're like, let me talk to your supervisor, and so they talk to me, and then that's when I got yelled at a lot, so, but I didn't have too many of those calls, so it wasn't, terrible, but then, like, the few that you get, like, really stick with you. I know, like, sometimes, even though I haven't worked there for a month, I still get mad about phone calls that I've had, like a lady telling me that I should have been fired because she didn't pay her bill and we closed her account. So, yeah, I'm still kind of mad about that one. There's just so many more important things to me than making a whole lot of money. I mean, I would rather be happy at my job and make not that much money than be unhappy and, like, having, like, literal panic attacks. Because I did have a panic attack one time when somebody was yelling at me and it wasn't fun. So, yeah, then, like, just a constant fear of you never know, like, because, if you're in person with clients, you can tell when somebody is starting to get frustrated or if they come in frustrated or whatever, and it's going to be a lot easier to diffuse a situation. But if somebody calls you as soon as that thing beeps in your ear, like, they could start yelling at you right off the bat, calling you everything but a nice Christian lady. And yeah, I did have plans to save up a bunch of money, and my goal I think by 2020 is to travel the U.S., see all 50 states, maybe all the natural parks, I'm not sure, or national parks, did I say natural? I don't know, national parks. So I wanted to kind of save up for that, and then I will probably need a new car. I would say, like, I can probably go by with mine for about 2 or 3 more years, fingers crossed. I mean, it's not horrible by any means, but I would just kind of want something, bigger, and my car is, like, perfect, there's nothing wrong with it, but I would like a car with a bigger gas tank, because my car is so tiny, it only has, like, a 7 or 8 gallon gas tank, and that does not last very long. Like, the range on it, it's like maybe 300 miles. I want a Tesla, like I said in my update video about where I said that I, got a job and everything. I actually applied to work at Tesla. I haven't heard anything. Maybe I'll call them. I don't know. But I don't know anymore. I just... But I would love to work at Tesla. I think that would be an amazing opportunity. But the thing is, I'm not a salesperson, so... But then again, it's something that I believe in, so... I mean, I think it would be easier, like, or just more natural for me to sell somebody a Tesla because I want one myself. And I can talk about how great they are all day, but... Like, if I was going to try to sell somebody... something I don't believe in, like, I don't know. I don't know what else, like, is in a sales position that I would disagree with. Like, if I worked at a restaurant and I tried to sell somebody, like, upsell somebody to, like, a steak dinner or something, I couldn't do that just because I don't eat meat, but... Actually, I probably could, though, honestly, now that I think about it, I could, like, pander to the fact that everybody hates vegans. Yeah, that would be horrible. I probably shouldn't do that, but... And my fiance has been kind of struggling with this whole... Do I work at this place that I don't really like and make, a bunch of money, or do I, work somewhere else to make a little bit less, but I like it, And I think that the trick to that is finding a balance between what you can live with financially and, you know, what you're willing to deal with. So, like, if you're at a job where, you know, you disagree with your boss, or, like, customers are rude or whatever, or it's difficult work, boring, or whatever, you know, you have to find a balance between how much you're willing to deal with in that regard versus how much the pay is. And if there's opportunity for advancement, I would say the companies that don't have opportunities for advancement are probably not worth your time working for. I mean, unless you're fine staying on the bottom, which, you know, but like pretty much everywhere that I've ever worked has potential to move up, except for one place. Like I worked at a grocery store, and it would have been really difficult to move up there, I think, just because it was union. Like I had to pay union dues and everything, like it was mandatory. And like even to get a raise there, you had to put in so many hours. So like somebody that works full time has more opportunity for a raise than somebody who's part time, even though the quality of work may be different. So I mean, you just have to decide for yourself. And there are tons of jobs out there. People make it seem like it's hard to find work. It's really not. Like, if you just put together a good resume, there are lots of websites. I've had a resume for a while, but there are sites that help you do a cover letter, which I actually did a cover letter once for, well, I did a cover letter once a while back when I tried to apply at this other place. I'm not going to say what that was either, but anyways, then I made up a new one when I applied for Tesla, and it's just, I had no idea what to put in a cover letter, so I just, like, found a couple websites that really explained it, and just as long as you're professional in, you know, your resume and cover letter, like, don't make your resume with, like, pink font and a blue background or whatever, you know. And then just talk about your achievements. It's really hard to talk about your achievements. I mean, if you're like me, but if you're a little more outgoing, then it might be a little bit easier for you. And also the thing is, if you have an interview, you know, if you like, yeah, I really want to work for this company, you know, I'm going to be happy here, I think, I've heard good things about it. And when you get the interview, try to focus on, it's not so much an audition. An interview is a two-way thing, so it's more like you getting to know the company more if you don't already know them, you getting to know the hiring manager, whoever, the owner, whoever you're interviewing with, and then they also get to know you too, because, like, you know, most of the time, if you apply for a job, you don't know the person who is interviewing you, so that's just kind of a time for you to get to know each other. It's not really like an audition where you have to, you know, blow them out of the water or whatever. Just, you have to just be yourself and, you know, let your accomplishments show, you know, in the way that you speak about yourself, because they can tell if you know, aren't that confident about yourself. So that's the main thing that people want to see in interviews, just that you're confident and that you are willing to get to know them too. Not like personally, like, but, you know, just the gist of the job and the company and everything. So basically, I just quit my my full-time, good-paying job because I really was not happy there. And aside from that, the workload on my team in particular was getting a little out of hand. Every other department in the company, like, if they had a problem that they didn't know how to solve, it got dumped on my team, which was pretty small. So that can get a little frustrating. And then, I don't know, like, the direct management above us was, like, kind of feeling the same thing, like, why are these other departments dumping this stuff on us when, you know, like, it's not really our job, but, so there's really not much they can do about it. There's just a whole bunch of bureaucracy because it was a huge company. And that's the one thing, too, I don't like the idea of working for a huge company, because to a huge company, like, I'm talking ones that, you know, like, multinational, like, all over the world, you know, probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of employees, you know, those kind. You're not a person, you're not an employee to them, you're a number, you're there to produce results. They don't give a diddly squat about you. I mean, maybe your manager, direct manager does, but as far as above them, the company doesn't care. So I would just, if you have the option, I would go for a smaller company. You know, I mean, not saying like a mom and pop kind of place, and those have their disadvantages too, like, you know, it's less stable, which if you work for a huge company, it's going to be more stable, obviously, but you don't mean anything, you're not producing meaningful work, they could hire somebody else off the street to do the same thing. And then my ultimate goal, though, with, you know, working and stuff is, I don't want to work for someone else forever. I want to very, very soon, like as soon as I possibly can, to work for myself, doing YouTube, and then also, I'm going to try to take my crocheting business into a different direction. I don't know exactly what direction that's going to be. I do want to do something on Etsy, or like at least e-commerce, it's because my crochet business hasn't been doing as well as I was hoping, but I was making things that I liked, or, you know, I don't know, but I just didn't take into consideration what other people would like, so I just wasn't doing very well. I didn't get that many orders of stuff that I already had, I just kept getting, like, custom-made orders. But if it's, like, a solely custom-based shop, the people are not going to see, you know, like, you're not going to have stuff, like, on the front of your Etsy shop or whatever that's, like, ready for sale. So that's why I try to write, like, crochet patterns but I didn't really make that many of those. It's more difficult than I thought it would be. I just can't think of ideas on what kind of patterns to make, so. But, yeah, that's about it for this video. This was really, really random, like, spur of the moment, probably all over the place. I didn't plan this. I just was kind of like thinking about video ideas, and then I sat down and filmed this because I know it might be interesting for some people that, you know, I made that career move, which wasn't even like a career move. It was just like I ended my career and then started over, which I could get a job at another similar business, but, you know, I don't know, because I just don't want to say too much in case, like, I do get into that business and then this is on YouTube. But basically, it would be difficult to get that kind of a job at another business because it would be more of a sales position if I move somewhere else. And I'm not that good of a salesperson. I'm not that social. Like, the most talkative I am, like I said earlier, is when I make YouTube videos. Or when I'm really tired, and then I get talkative. But I don't know. So the plan is now to just try to get, you know, bills paid and everything. That's my main priority for the moment. And then, you know, if the opportunity arises, I want to go to another company or whatever, you know, leave the two jobs that I have now, then I can. It's not that big of a deal. And then hopefully I can move back out in the next, I don't know, maybe a couple months or so once I get, you know, ahead on things. So, yeah, that's enough rambling. So thank you so much for watching. If you stayed to the end, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. I do these talky kind of videos occasionally, but normally I do more makeup type things. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like these kind of talky videos. Let me know in the comments if you have any other topics that you want me to talk about. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.